Guess what, guys? I'm the only one here today. Them jokers went and left me by myself. Can you believe that? Let me make sure it's streaming correctly. Give me a second. But listen, I don't know who told them that it was a good idea to leave me here by myself. Who does that? Like who does that? So I'm here. But I'm here because I love y'all and I'm here. I didn't leave y'all. I'm not even gonna tell y'all what happened. It's not a big deal. Just know that I am here. Okay. Like I don't know what made them think that would be a good idea to leave me by myself because I usually get into trouble. I might, do some unorthodox things. Just kidding. You're safe with me. I want to thank you for joining. So anyway, I'm here by myself. I am Delina Hill Brooker of Lioness Visions, LLC, multimedia company. And I actually knew that Anjanita and Rasha would not be here today. We had already talked about it, but I did not want to lose the momentum of our weekly dates. So I decided to just come on by myself and talk to you guys for a little bit, get your opinions, talk about a few different things. Now, I'm going to wait until they come back to talk about the book. But so I want to know what you like, what you don't like. If you have any suggestions, what's been your favorite topic, your least favorite topic. Because this platform has exceeded my expectations, I want to use it to talk about other things. I don't want to just talk about the book. So I want to know what you guys want to talk about. And I'm asking you because you're the weekly audience. You're the people who have been watching, sharing, joining in the conversation, commenting and all that. So who better to ask than you, right? So give me your thoughts. Tell me what you think. And we'll see how we can incorporate those things. If you wanted to be a guest on the show, if you wanted to invite other people to be a guest, or if you wanted other people to be a guest, like who do you want to see? Let me know that. And so let's see. And some people have said that they've missed the live streams and they didn't see the visual series, which was the whole point of doing this. And it's something with Facebook's algorithm that is making that not be known. So I'm going to repost. I put all of the visual series in one video. So I will post that up as soon as I'm done. And then I will post the live series, repost them in order so that if you need to catch up, and they're numbered. So if you need to catch up, you can, because we don't want you missing any of the good content. It's been a really, really, really great conversation that we've been having, great conversations that we've been having. So, but since I'm by myself today, all alone, I'm not alone because you're here with me. We're together. I'm going to steer things a little bit differently because I don't want to talk about the book without the other two ladies, because I really feel like even though I know the stories and could tell you everything that happened in those stories, it's best told by the people who lived through them, lived through it. So we'll wait until next week, and they will be back next week. But and if you don't want to look on my Facebook page, I'm going to post everything on my Facebook page. But if you go to our website, lionessvisions.net, the videos are there. It's linked to our YouTube page. You can view it on our YouTube page as well. So we try to make it really easy for you to get all of the content that we are have going on. If you need to purchase a copy of the book or see other services that we offer a variety of publishing services for independent authors, from editing, book design, typesetting, and all of those types of things for other authors. So if you want to look and see exactly what Lioness Visions is with a Z, Lioness, VIZIONS.net. So you can get all of the information there. And let's see. So let's talk about this visual series. So just like the live conversations, the visual series is another thing I thought just had a blink light bulb in my head one night. And I see the viewers, but you need to comment so that I know you're here. I don't know you're here. I don't know who you are. So the light bulb went off in my head, and I was like, I had the full thing in my head, and I was like, this is what I see. But I didn't know how to make that where everybody else can see what I was seeing. So I talked to my business partner. I talked to my husband. I talked to our friend Coy Hackett, who is a videographer. And so we kind of just all put our heads together and worked it out. And we started filming it, and they did exactly, everyone involved did exactly what I needed them to do to get the visual that was in my head out. And still, these are the visual series is a mini snippet of some of the things that the characters in the books had to deal with. So it's definitely not everything. You really have to get and actually read the book to get the full nitty gritty of the thing. It's like surface level. This person deals with depression. This person was domestic abuse. This person was molested. So there's different things, and there's some things that all are the same, but everybody has their own individual voice and their own individual way of saying what happened. So it turned out the visual. So this is a funny story. Last night, there were some things in our bathroom that I wanted hung up. So my husband said he was going to hang it up. I just happened to be home and I was cleaning up. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you so much. I was cleaning up. I finally cleaned out my closet because it was, Lord, I was like borderline a hoarder. And so I was cleaning up. And so I was like, you know what? I can just hang this up. I don't have to wait on him to do it. So I went and hung some stuff up, and he realized that when he came home from track practice with the kids, he realized that I had hung the stuff up. And he was like, oh, you didn't want to wait on me? It wasn't even anything like that. It was just like, I can do it. So why not? Let me see. I can't look at my comments without. So I see you, Deborah. I see you. Thank you so much, Deborah. So he asked me last night, he was like, you proud of yourself? And I'm like, for using command strips to hang some stuff up in the bathroom? And so he said, you should be proud of yourself. And I'm like, proud of myself for that? That's nothing. What I'm proud of is actually putting together this visual series and doing this live stream, and it exceeding my expectations. And it just so happened that with the visual series, I was working on music for some other stuff, and some of the stuff that I was working on correlated to the visual series. Like, it fit perfectly. And I was like, I can't use that for this. I have to use that for this because this fits. And it's just crazy how that worked out. But I'm just really happy that it's doing what it's supposed to do. The whole goal in mind is to tell a story. So even though we've already told the story in the book, we're just telling it in a different way. Some people have not even heard of the book or know about the book or whatever. This may catch their eye and spark a conversation. So in saying that, I had never done anything behind the scenes before. I've always been the one on the stage or watching. I've never been behind the scenes. So that was it was a small learning curve, because I'm pretty familiar with some production, but I had never done anything like this before. So even the people who were involved, for the most part, had never done anything like this before. So, but we were all in, and everybody just came in and did what they had to do. That was great. I loved it. And like, I couldn't be more happier about it. So now I'm thinking of more things that I can do in that aspect. Like, I always knew I could do something like that, but I just never had the opportunity. It was like all the pieces were just came together. You're right. Your gifts will make room for you. Your gifts will make room for you. That's what Deborah's talking to me again. Thank you, girl. Yes, I claim that. Yes, they do. They really do. I just had to be open to my gifts. So it was really, really fun. And I'm already working on some other stuff and just trying to see what all we can do. Hey, Alfred. So let's see, what else? And the thing about it is, I've always been a writer. I started out writing songs, and I've always written poems and short stories and stuff like that. So this is just another extension of my creativity, which I love. And it's just like, oh, wow. And once I actually did it, I was like, that was easier than writing the book. Let me just tell you how to act. Run down these bleachers, Carly, who was playing Rain. Do like this or whatever and sing the song and yeah, like that. So it was a little bit easier. Maybe it's just something that I didn't know that I had in me. But me and my husband were talking the other day, and I was like, God put certain things in us, and we have to use them. And this, it's not necessarily we have to understand how or why or whatever. This is something I could have done years ago. I just didn't feel confident enough to step out and do it. And even with me stepping out, I've met more people who are doing the same thing, who are willing to help. And it's like, oh, that's all I had to do? Well, step out and do it? Okay. So I like telling stories no matter what format. Is that you, Erica? I think I see you, girl. Whatever the format is. And so I'm just branching out in my creativity and my gifts and praying that God blesses them. And I believe that he will, because he told me he was going to bless some of these things that I'm working on. So I just try to be in alignment with what he wants. And and I think part of my purpose is I want to be able to tell stories in everything that I write and everything that I do, everything that I am a part of. I want to be able to spark conversations, evoke change and positive change, and really give a different perspective of what we've always known. Because just because it's what it's always been doesn't mean it's always right. So that's part of my whole philosophy of my core, just like, if we could just talk about it. Let's just talk about it. So even like these hard things that we've been talking about in the book, a lot of people don't talk about it. So it stays covered up. But Ayanna Van Zant always says, you can't heal what you can't speak. So you got to speak it. You got to take power over whatever situation it is and talk about it. Especially in days like this, and we have some crazy person supposed to be over America. I'm not even going to say his name. It's like Voldemort or whatever the guy from Harry Potter is. I'm not going to say his name. I'll say the other guy's name before I say his name. We really need to spark conversation because everybody's running around scared. Even with talking about these guns and everything else, everybody's running around scared. So if there's anything that I can do as a creative to spark the conversation, to say, hey, this is the right side thinking, this is the left side thinking, but what if you guys were on the different spectrum? You wouldn't feel that way. So we never have to meet in the middle. So the whole thing is, everything that I do, I want to spark a conversation, make you think, and not necessarily change your perspective, but open up your minds to consider other things. That's really important to me. So, and I have a wide variety of friends from different cultures and everything like that. So I get a lot of different aspects, and we have so much more in common than we do separately. Did I say that right? We have so much more in common than we don't do. So it's like, oh, wow. Just because you believe this is really connected to this, and this is why you believe this, because this is your history. So I really believe in just, if we understood more about the people we think that are against us, everybody's really not against you. Most people don't care about what you have going on unless it affects them. So if we're talking about gun laws and whatever else, if it's not affecting you, or if it makes you change what you've always known, then that's scary to you, understandably. And we just have to be open to other options, at least consider it. Like, I think that's the whole problem with a lot of people, especially Americans today. We're not even willing to consider a different way because it's what we've always known. It's what we're comfortable with. Yes, Natalie, open hearts and open minds to love one another. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, girl, how you doing? Thank you for joining. But I do believe that we need to start having some hard conversations, because you don't know my truth until I tell you. You can know what I let you see on the surface, and being scared of whatever change or whatever to talk about is never good for anybody. Because all that buried stuff is going to come up and it's going to come out. Why do you think there's riots? Why do you think everybody's running around scared? And it's just not good. And that's with any aspect of life. We got to do better. We got to talk about it. Amen, sister. Amen. We got to talk about these things because it's getting ridiculous. So I'm not afraid to go into those dark places, and everything that I write and talk about is not dark, but I'm not afraid to go where people don't want to go, because I feel that it's important. I feel that it's really, really important. If you have a closet uncle who is a child molester, you need to go and talk about that. Why? Because that empowers the people who were molested, and it stops the molester from being able to molest people, because guess what? We're not going to keep letting our children stay with you because we know what you are. So, and that's with anything. It's not just about that or topics that are in the book. You have to talk about those hard things you don't want to talk about. You got to get uncomfortable, because when you get uncomfortable, you gain your power. Because this is the thing, and I said it, I think 2 weeks ago, you have already survived whatever ordeal you've gone through. You've already survived it. What are you going to do from there? You can't say, I mean, you have to have some time where you are just dealing and hurting everything, but you have to rise up, and you can't stay in that place all the time. So that's part of what I like to do, help be a positive light and bring there can be good in any situation. And that is hard to feel, hard to believe when you are going through something. But God doesn't put more on you than you can bear. And there is a reason for everything that he does. Let's take an example. Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry. Their struggles were harder than mine. But because their struggles were harder, that made them fight more to survive. So they stopped just surviving, they thrive. I don't know about y'all, but I'm trying to thrive. I'm not trying to just be here, just a spectator. I'm trying to live my best life. And if God gives me these gifts, if he gives you these gifts, if you're not using your gifts in their entirety, you're not living your life to the highest of your potential. So some people are great caregivers. Some people are great with children. Some people are great teachers. Some people are great speakers. Some people are great singers. Some people are great motivators. Some people are great, just whatever it is in your gift. Everybody's gift is not the same. Our gifts should not be the same, because we are a accumulation of a lot of different things. But if everybody does their part, and uses those things that God just puts in us from birth, and you just know, and you know, and you know, and you know, and you feel, if we just do those things to the best of our ability, he will take that, multiply it, magnify it. And guess what? At the end of the day, all things work together for the good and glory of God. So I ain't come on here to preach to y'all tonight. But I just had to say that this is what came out, that you have to use those gifts. I am honored to have my gifts. Within using my gifts, I'm learning about more gifts that I have, but that wouldn't have been unlocked if I hadn't started tapping into the stuff that I was supposed to be tapping into, but I was just too scared. And I tried it out, and guess what? It worked. It actually worked. So, and then I had to be okay with, okay, if I try and it doesn't work, then what happens? Well, at least I know it didn't work. Or I can see what didn't work and try something different. Everything I've done has not worked. Oh, trust and believe. But it's a good thing. So I won't take much of your time. We will be back again next week, all three of us, talking about some more stuff with the book. And I want to thank you guys for joining me this evening. I really, 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 really appreciate it. I see Tedra on there. I can't really see everybody who liked and commented at the moment while I'm live, but thank you. Thank you for joining. Please join us again at the same time next week. We will be right here. Tell a friend, and just look out for these videos. I'm going to post the visual series first so that you guys can see that. And I put them all together so you can see them in their entirety. And join me again next week. Peace, love, and light, guys. Have a great night.